Good morning, y'all. I tried to make a video last night and the lighting was so terrible. And right in the middle of it, I started coughing and couldn't quit. So I stopped it and started it again. And then I tried to edit it in iMovie. And I don't know what I did, but I could not get it to upload. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try anyway to get this one done today. I want to get something done before Christmas, and I hope to do one more, but Kate has taken a lot of time from me, and as you can hear, he's been real generous with his cold germs. About 3 weeks ago, he gave me his cold. He's learned to give sloppy kisses. Mostly he just licks my cheek, but he managed to give me this cold, and the cold just kind of morphed into a sinus infection, and then that kind of segued over to a cough, and I just cannot get rid of this cough, y'all. I watched Pam and Steph and tried the NyQuil thing the last couple of nights, and it does help me for a good part of the night. The night seems to be the worst, but somewhere around 3 o'clock in the morning it starts again, and I don't have much of a voice left early in the morning. Anyway, y'all don't need to hear all that. I have been to a retreat. I've been to Sevierville, Tennessee, to one of Katrina Boyd's retreats. And y'all, I had the best time ever. I laughed until my ribs hurt. There were several Flosstubers there, and I know they've already talked about that retreat and listed everyone. So I'm not going to try to do that because, my memory, I'd leave somebody out. There were a lot of ladies that weren't Flosstubers, but we hope we've inspired them to maybe do a video for us. Anyway, it was great fun. I got some very neat gifts. I'll be showing some of those today, and some I won't because I'm already using them, and I don't have them all in here. Everything in my little basket over here is completely mixed up. Things I've bought, things I've gotten as gifts. Anyway, I'll just tell you about them as I get to them. It doesn't really matter, does it? I also have been asked about bags, project bags, if I'm going to have any more to sell, and the answer is yes. That's one of the few things I've gotten done, is I made a bunch of bags, and I'm going to show those to you at the end of this video. So if you're not interested in those, you can stop somewhere along the way. I also have passed 2,000 subscribers. How exciting is that? So I'm going to do just a little giveaway. I'm going to share some stash. I have 7 patterns that I'm going to give away. So if you're interested in those, that's going to be toward the end of the video as well. So you might want to stay tuned for that. And the third question I got was about this. If I would do a demo. And I said yes, but the answer is no, because I can't figure out, I'm just technologically challenged. This is an Elbesee clamp, Elbesee. It actually is an attachment for the Elbesee lap frame, but you don't need to buy the lap frame to use this piece. Let me tell you how I have my stitching stuff set up. I have a recliner, although I don't recline when I sew. It's one that has a footstool, not the kind that has the foot part that raises up. It has a separate footstool. And I have a rolling cart that's kind of like the hospital carts you get that roll across your bed, or like a computer cart. It's like that. I ordered mine from Bed Bath & Beyond. I think it was about $100, except I had a coupon, of course. And on that, I keep my little stand where I have my patterns, and this attaches to that table. As you can see, this part right here screws in and out. So the distance from here to here is how wide the lip of your table can be to attach it to. And it fits perfectly on my table. When it attaches, this is where I sew. and I can sew two-handed because it's attached to the table and I don't have to hold on to it. It lifts up so that I can get to the back to clip my threads. The hook or the Q-snap goes right in here. This part unscrews all the way to the top. I'm not going to do it because I've got this on here good and tight. And it will open about that far. So it's big enough to put your Q-snap on. Now I don't use Q-snaps very often at all. I would say that you wouldn't want to use a really large Q-snap because I don't know how steady it would be. You could try it, but I would think that the smaller ones, the 8x8, even maybe an 8x11, would be perfect on here. I love this thing so much that I have actually bought a second one. And I'll tell you why. First of all, I'm paranoid. I'm afraid that I might break this one or lose this one because I take it everywhere I go. But I'm also thinking that my cart is, trying to think how long it is, maybe 2.5 feet. I can have one project on this end and one project on the next end and just roll my cart back and forth so that I don't have to move projects. I can have two going at once. I don't know, I haven't tried it yet, but I think that's what I can do. Now, I also want to tell you that at the retreat, this would not go on the table. The lip of the table there was about that wide. I've never seen one quite like it. But I'm an old school teacher, so I improvised. I took my iPad in its case, like this. I clamped it on to my iPad, laid the iPad down on the tabletop, and laid something on top of the iPad to steady it, and stitched both days with this. And it worked beautifully. So, I will put a link below for this. I got it on Amazon, about $15. It came from the UK, so it did take it a couple of weeks to get to me, but certainly a reasonable price. So if you're interested, you can look at that. And I'll also put my email address down there. So if you have any questions about it, you can email me and ask. Now, let's talk about what I'm stitching on. I just had that one up, so let me bring it back up. This is from Little House Needleworks, and it's called the Tree Lot. I have all of these. I believe there are 14 of them. And I had originally thought that I was going to do one big piece. This is where I am. Actually, I've got a house too, but you can't see it. Oops, wait a second, y'all. Well, I dropped the magnet off my needle minder, and I'll have to do that later because I can't pick it up right now. The needle minder I have on here is one that Dina from Half Stitch Cross Stitch gave me. I love it very much. For it is by grace you have been saved. Just very special to me. You can't, I'm not going to take this off, but I have done the house, or I haven't done the doors and windows of the house, and then the trees on this piece. I was going to stitch all of these together, one big piece, but then I thought, where in the world will I put it? I've been married for like more than a half a century, y'all, and I don't have places to hang a lot of things. So I've decided now to do it individually. This is called, this fabric is called, I call it Dotted Swiss, but that's not what it is. It's a petite point, I believe a 28 count, and I got it at Cecilia's Samplers in Branson, Missouri. I have a system that's probably crazy to everybody else, but I have a system for keeping all of my patterns and projects together. When I first start kitting up a pattern and I have the threads, or part of the threads, or the fabric, but not the threads. The threads are not the fabric. I've only got part of it kitted. It all goes into one of my cloth project bags with a label on it. Once I get it fully kitted, then I switch it over to this kind of plastic envelope. These have Velcro on them, which keeps coming off. And I have all of these in a basket by themselves. And the project bags are in a basket by themselves. So I know what I have and where I have it. Once it gets fully kitted, I switch it over to this plastic bag, which goes in a third basket. Now the problem is I only have 10 of these blue bags. I bought them at the Dollar Tree back when it was time for school to start. They don't have them anymore, and I can't find them. I've stopped in every Dollar Tree I can find. So this little whip is living in its clear plastic bag. Not because that's where I want it, but just because that's where it's going to be. I put together this project. It's called Woodland Peace, and I can't show you the pattern because all I have is the printout, and I don't know where the pattern picture is. But I put it together, and this is all of the start I've got, and I'll tell you why. This is just a 28 count linen, of even weave of some sort. Well, I'll show you this top little part. It won't hurt. Look at that. I thought this is one color, 815. And I thought, oh, this will be easy to stitch in the car, in the doctor's waiting room, whatever. Well, little did I know or think about, all of those have to be really counted closely on that top border to get this started right. That's not easy to do when you're in the car or you're in the doctor's office. So I haven't gotten very far. I think the best thing for me to do is probably to get that top border stitched and then put it back in the car. I've also worked on Heaven and Nature Sing. This is a Kathy Barrick pattern. And I had hoped to have it done by Christmas, but that's not going to happen because there are too many other things I want to do. I've decided I have 12 or 13 whips right now. And I decided I wanted to go into the new year with 18. This is 2018. I'll just go in with 18 and focus on those 18. This is where I am on Heaven and Nature Sing. I worked on his leg since the last time you saw it. I added the trees and the sign. Maybe the birds. Or the little flowers around his neck. I don't remember. Anyway, I love this one. Here I go coughing again. Sorry. But I did bring something to drink this time. Chai tea latte. Why drink water when you can drink chai tea? This one's going to be hard for you to see. Let me see if I can get a picture of that at all. I Bring Thee Joy is the name of this one. Pineberry Lane. I love this. I say that about every one, don't I? Because I love them all or I wouldn't be stitching them. This fabric, you're not going to probably be able to get a true color. Well, that's pretty true. It's a bluish gray. And this lighting is, of course, is bad because it's a cloudy day. But the trees have white branches and leaves. And actually here, in this light, that white really pops. So it's going to be a nice, a really pretty piece, I think. And then Buckeye Stitcher, Pam, Kathleen, several of us are working on this one. This is Ebenezer. I don't know what that little piece of paper is. And I worked the most on this one. I'm not getting a lot of stitching done right now because the arcade is 17.5 pounds. He crawls everywhere and he crawls fast. He's learned to come up the step from the sunroom into the living room, but not down. He goes head first when he goes down, and then he cries, of course. He pulls up on every single thing in my house. He pulls everything off of the coffee table and the shelves. I have a dough bowl on my coffee table that has all my little Christmas smalls in it. He loves those little pillows. He loves to chew on them. Oh my goodness, there's squirrels running everywhere in my yard. Sorry, y'all. He loves to chew on those little pillows. And I've tried to stop him at first, and then I thought, why? I don't care. Some of those overdyed threads might run a little from the slobber, but one of these days I will look at those and laugh and treasure them, and I will give them to him one of these days so he can see what he did to his grandma. And yes, he does have red hair. My husband had red hair until it turned white. My oldest daughter has red hair. And then we skipped a generation and thought we weren't going to have any more redheads, and he popped up, and it's growing just a little, and what's growing is standing straight up. Cute, just too cute. Okay, Ebenezer. I'm really about at the halfway point. Now, the bottom half of this is a little bit more densely stitched. It has a sleigh and a horse coming next, and so that's going to take a little bit longer, but isn't that pretty? Such a fun thing to stitch on. And for those of you who are working on this or who are interested in this, the colors that I chose a Belsois Eau Crow for the black and collard greens from Classic Colorworks. You can't see that color. And then Weathered Barn from Gentle Arts. I may have to get some more of those threads. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough. Getting close anyway. And the last whip that I worked on is Bessie from Little House, because I saw Yvonne's at Night Owl Stitcher and just fell in love with it. This is where I am on Bessie. You can just barely see it, but I've done the word milk, and when all this is filled in with the brown from the cow, it's going to show really nicely. I don't remember what this fabric is. I have it written down in my little journal if anyone's interested. I had a hard time choosing a fabric for that. I didn't have what they called for, and I was trying to do it from my stash. And I have one finish, y'all. This one is Letters from Santa. Let me get a little closer on this one. I also don't remember the name of this fabric. Davos, maybe, something like that. I coffee dyed it real lightly, and I should have done it a little darker because the white didn't really show up real well. I changed one little thing. The Santa, one side of the Santa was cut off by a tree, and I left the tree off and filled in the Santa. I decided I'd rather have both of his feet than just one of them. And the colors of the letters, there are 3 different colors of that goldish brown. And they mixed them up, and I got confused, and so they didn't end up quite as mixed up. But that's okay, I like it. That pattern is one that's going to be in my pass in the stash at the end of this video. Okay, when I went to Sevierville, I did not make it to Dixie Darling, so I kept my promise. I did not buy a sampler at all at Dixie Darling. I said I could have one there, but I didn't get it. So I bought some from Katrina, and since I hadn't made a promise about how many I bought there, I bought more than one. Y'all will see. I'm going to show you. At the Pattern Hutch. The Pattern Hutch was a great little shop. Lots of wool applique which you know I love, and lots of needle punch. Now, I've never done needle punch. We've talked about that. But I have the needle, and I've ordered the hooks. So I bought 3 patterns at the pattern punch. I don't know why I did that. I don't need them. I've got magazines. Anyway, here are the 3. You know why I did it, because I liked them. It's craziness. Snowman. He's really kind of dark in this picture, but I'm going to use a lighter color thread, I think, on him. This is called Glory Bee, a little beehive. This will be fun for the 4th of July. And look at this teddy bear. Is that not the sweetest face you ever saw? All of these were stitched and on the walls there, and they are just adorable. And I also bought this little wool piece for Halloween. Very simple, but that'll be a fun one to stitch next fall. And one little Christmas ornament. I have a half a yard of white wool, and I thought I would just get this for the pattern, and I'll cut these out, and when I go to my sister's next week, maybe we'll make a bunch of them for gifts. That'll be fun. All right, some things that I bought. And I don't remember, I'm sorry, where I bought. Some of them I will remember, some of them I won't. This one is Humble Gatherings by Scattered Seed Sampler. Another spring pattern, because I don't have very many spring ones. This one I'm going to start stitching on tonight, I hope. This one is from the Bee Company, and it's just a simple little tree with buttons. And I bought that at Katrina's. At Katrina's retreats, she sells patterns and fabric and that sort of thing. And I also bought, I think from her, Hello Fall. I have Hello Summer, and I understand Hello Winter is out now. I'll be looking for that. I'm going to Branson in a week or two, and I'll look up there and see if I can find that. Then, on Julie McConnell's video, not the latest one, but one before, she designed a pattern for her retreat called Witch's Booty, and Kathleen at Kathleen's Trodden Trail picked this up for me because I just loved it. Another Halloween stitching. I've got my fall cut out for me as well as my spring, don't I? I ordered this little tacky bob because I've never stitched a mill hill, but I got one as a gift, and I'll show it to you in a minute. At the retreat, Teresa, I don't remember how to pronounce your last name, from Shakespeare's Peddler, had a trunk show for us. And I fell in love with her patterns. This one is a kit that she designed just for Katrina's retreats. Lori at Mischievous Stitches, who was my roommate at the retreat, has already done this one. She's already finished it, fully finished it, and I haven't even begun. But it's real high up on my list. My list is really long. Y'all, I have 12 or 13 whips. I have 25 fully kitted projects, and probably 20 more that are partially kitted. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I ended up with about 6 of Teresa's patterns. She gave us one, and then I bought 5. Yes, 5. This one is called Jenny Bean's Halloween Sampler. I love, love, love that willow tree. Of course, I love all houses. This one is called Jenny Bean and Friends. More houses. But isn't that going to be so fun? This one's totally different. It's called Pumpkin Joe. Katrina's ordered that fabric for me. She didn't have it in stock. And I'm looking forward to getting that. And that's added to the fall list, of course. And this sampler is called Sarah Woodham. Oh my goodness, I know that's hard to see, but y'all, it is just gorgeous. I love the birds, I love the trees. I just love everything about this one. Too fun. And then this pattern, Let There Be Peace, Teresa gave us all at the retreat. Wasn't that sweet? We also had an ornament exchange, and I got the ornament from Jen at Jen's Stitching Niche. Isn't that gorgeous? It's going up on my tree, my little tree. I bit the bullet and gave up my big tree this year and bought a 4-foot one to put on top of a desk in front of a window because I knew if I didn't, that Cade would try to eat everything on the bottom of the tree and he would try to climb it. And that was not a battle that I wanted to fight. Oh, this is my new thread minder. Lori gave this to me from Mischievous Stitches. And in our Dirty Santa exchange, there's my first mill hill that I am going to stitch. This came from Yvonne, the Night Owl Stitcher, and she also included some wool, which of course I love, and some fabric for finishing. Lots of fun things. Joanne, one of my buddies, she's not a Flosstuber, but look what she brought me. A project bag with sequins. She called it the McKenna bag. I've already shown it to McKenna and she's jealous. Aren't you, McKenna? I'm a McKenna wannabe. Love, love, love this purse. It's not really a purse. It's a project bag. I'm going to put something in it to take with me to my sister's. And then someone at the retreat gave me needles and pins, but I don't remember who it was. I am so sorry. But whoever it was, y'all, everybody's been stitching this, and it's just beautiful. And so I can hardly wait. So, here's the thing about the retreat. I loved everything about it. Everything. And I want to go to all of them. Oh, and Yvonne also gave me a scissor fob. Look here. A Christmas one. It's got a little Christmas stocking on the bottom. And honestly, my husband said I could. Now, that's not practical. It was awfully sweet of him to say that. But, you know, I looked at Newark. It's so far to Newark from here. It would cost me a fortune to go. And I just can't do that. I looked at Minnesota. That's not as far. And in fact, it's a doable one because my sister lives 400 miles from me. And Minnesota's 400 miles from my sister's, and she's really right smack down. I'd have to go through Jefferson City, Missouri, where she lives, to get there. So it would be perfect. I'm still thinking. I want to go to Nebraska, to Julie's. I want to go to Tulsa, to the Silver Needle. Is that the name of that? I just want to go to all of them. But I can't. So, all right, let's talk about the giveaway. Regular rules. Don't say giveaway. Please, in your comment, if you want one of these patterns, tell me the name of it. And I'm going to call this one, the name of this one is Letters for Santa. You just saw it stitched. Letters for Santa. That's a Brenda Gervais pattern, and so is this one. Liberty. I've stitched that one, and y'all have seen that as well. Liberty. This Little House pattern, Needleworker. Another Brenda Gervais pattern, The Gilmore House. Another Little House. This is an ornament called Peppermint Twist. And this one is called Gingerbread Cookie. and then a Lizzie Kate jack-o'-lantern, or October 31st, whichever you want to call it. I'll know what it is. If you want one of those, please just say, count me in for whatever patterns you want to list, or put all the patterns, and I'll put you on all the lists. And I'm going to pick 7 winners, and I will ship those anywhere. Now, for those who've asked about bags, let me preface this by saying, y'all, Mama Joan has made some of the most beautiful bags, and I love the vinyl centers. I've just ordered my second one from her. Even though I make my own bags, I love hers. And Emily C., I think, is going to be selling some more patterns tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And hers are gorgeous. She has the most wonderful color sense. But if you're not lucky enough to get one of theirs, then I do have some project bags for sale. I've made a bunch of Christmas ones, and then I have others that are not Christmas. And I'm going to show you a few of what I have. Sorry, you got my back there for a while. And I'm going to put my email address down underneath. And if you will just email me, I'll send you pictures and sizes, okay? I have one of this angel. All of my bags have zippers. They are all lined. This one is lined with white. And I zigzag and stitch the edges, the inside seams, so they'll be good and stable. I have 3 of the Grinch. His lining is a green with a silver dot. For you cat lovers, I have 3 of these. They're a little smaller than the regular size ones because it's a directional fabric and I have to fussy cut those. And the lining on these is a white on white. I have 3 of these snowmen with this pretty blue, and the lining on this is a blue snowflake. You can't see that very good, but it's pretty. This also is a directional fabric. I only have 2 of these, Winter Wonder and the red striped lining. One of my favorites will be this one, the Cardinals. I love birds. My mother loved birds. This is a red print. You can't see that. But they're lined with pretty stuff, y'all. And I have a couple of peppermint bags. With that red plaid. Then I have some not Christmas. This is a blue lined in this fabric that I made the pocket out of. I have 2 of these gold, and that's a bumblebee on there, and they're lined with a black. I have one of this bumblebee. It's a gold with white wings. I have this pink floral. It's got a pink print on the inside. I have this burgundy with a pocket, and it's lined with this blue. This beautiful white with roses and burgundy stripe on that. This teal with the white lace, and it also has a stripe, I think. Yeah. This is a spring one that says hop, hop, peep, peep, things like that. And it has this red gingham. And then a smaller version of that one. This one is a little shorter, but just as wide. In addition, I have some small bags that are great for scissors and thread and stuff like that, or small project. This is a little floral. And I have 3 Christmas ones. Sleighs. See the little sleigh right? A cardinal one in the smalls. A gold snowflake. And I have one lone Halloween one left. I sold all the rest. Okay, that's all the bags. So, email me if you're interested. Comment if you're interested in the patterns. And if I don't get to see y'all again, you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye-bye.